Want a new look for your home without burning a hole in your pocket? Well then, Interior Redesign is the answer for you. Hello and welcome to Expert Advice. Today I have with me Sapna Srivastava, Managing Editor of BuilderTech magazine, to discuss in length about interior redesign. But first of all, let's welcome our guest of the day. Hello Sapna, welcome to the show. Okay, Sapna, since I mentioned about interior redesign, now this concept is something which is unheard of in India. What actually is interior redesign?
In late 1990s or early 2000s, in US the property market was going through a lean period, and it was more a buyer's market than the seller's market. So property owners who wanted to sell their property faster and they wanted good price for it, make their property stand out from other properties which are on the market. A concept of home staging started during that period. Home staging meant the property owners would refurbish their property, would bring out the advantages of the property, the best points of the property, so that it becomes much more attractive for the buyers. And in fact, at that time, property experts say that due to home staging, property owners could get 6 to 20% more price for the properties, and it sold faster as well. This was the beginning of interior redesign actually. Okay. From there on, the concept of not actually interior designing your place, but redesigning it came about. Now, why would anyone want to redesign or go for interior redesign, or it is also called as interior refining or interior redecorating? Some of the reasons people started looking at this kind of designing concept was that if it is a commercial setup, sometimes it's a startup company, they don't want to invest that much money in decorating their place, or probably it was a leased office, they don't want to make any permanent additions or alterations. Sometimes a business has gone through development and growth, and now they have some new identity, and they wanted to their office to give the expression to that new identity without losing their previous the look. So this was one of the reasons. Sometimes they don't want to disrupt their operations because of decorations and designing aspect, budget and time constraints. So for commercial properties, these were some of the reasons for not going for full-fledged designing, but just to redesign the place. In residentials, again, the reasons were one, maybe it was a rented property, they cannot make major changes. Second, people might have had collected a lot of things over the years which they don't want to part away with, but they want a new look for it, because for years and years their home still has the same look, and they want a new look without posing off their the things that they had collected over the years. Another reason is that they have a lot of things that they have memories attached, and they want to keep the same look, but they want to make it look modern, but without spending too much time and effort and money. So these were some of the reasons why interior redesign as a segment came about, and a lot of countries and a lot of European American cities, this concept is being practiced.
Well, that's quite an interesting story. You mentioned about people having attachment with their objects, and I think it's a very good concept. Now, taking this conversation further, now I would like to ask, as a one of the homeowners, if I wish to interior redesign, to go about interior redesign, so what are the processes that are involved that I need to take care of?
The process is really simple actually, and the first step in interior redesign, interior refining, or interior redecorating, whatever you would like to call it, is first talk to the designer. Give them what kind of lifestyle you have, what is the look that you are looking to achieve for your home or for your particular room. The designer would examine the space, probably make best utilization of the space. They would create a focal point for the room or the space. According to that focal point, they will complement the entire setup, probably your lighting, your lighting fixtures, your furniture. Instead of replacing the furniture, they are going to just replace it and rearrange it to give a whole new look to the space. They will shop within your home, which means probably they will pick a few pieces from the bedroom to be introduced in the new look of the living room, or probably few things from your living room will go into the bedroom to give complement the new style that has been introduced in the bedroom. With that, then probably the window treatments would be changed or revitalized. The color of the walls, the flooring probably undergoes change, and then the new things that have been shopped, they are brought in to complement the entire look and give a new cohesive look. The important thing here is that a designer comes with a fresh perspective, because you have been looking at your home from years and years, and you have that same mindset.
You have mentioned about hiring a designer. Now, I would like to ask you, is it necessary that I actually hire a designer, or maybe I could do away with a contractor or someone of that sort?
Designer is as we are talking about designing here,
right.
And for designing you need the aptitude towards design. You need to have those sense and sensibilities about the color schemes, about what is in vogue today, or what are the basic styles, like modern style, the classic style, the American style, the country style. A contractor cannot give you that vision. He can execute things for you. He can bring the vision of the designer to reality. But a contractor is not equipped with the aptitude for design. He cannot suggest you color schemes. He cannot suggest you what kind of fabrics you should go for, what kind of, if you are looking for a classic style, what kind of prints and upholstery you should be looking at. That only a designer can suggest.
Exactly.
Because they have been trained for the design aspect of the entire thing.
Of course. Time for a short break. Stay with us.
The basic premise of interior redesign is that without spending money on new things, how can we give a new look, completely reinterpret.
Welcome back to Expert Advice. We were talking about interior redesigning. Now let's take this conversation further with our guest Sapna Srivastava. Here my question arises is how does it actually be a cost-effective process of making your home look beautiful and lively and classy again?
So it's a misconception among people that if you want a good look, if you want a real classy look, you need to have expensive things, accessories and furniture. It's a misconception. It's not about beautiful things, it's about how you play with the things, how you arrange those things, how you complement them with each other. The basic premise of interior redesign is that without spending money on new things, how can we give a new look, completely reinterpret the things that we have in a new way, in a fresh way.
Correct.
Some of the examples I would give is you are cutting your cost first of all because you are not making any structural changes. You are not making any expensive civil works in your house or in your office space. Secondly, you are not buying completely a new furniture. You can remodel your existing furniture. For an example, if you are looking for a modern furniture, modern coffee table, but you have a carved shisham furniture, carved coffee table, what do? You are not going to throw away, because it has also been seen mostly the furniture that we have from earlier periods and earlier years, they are made of solid teak or mahogany or shisham, and which are really expensive woods and really good quality woods. So why waste those woods? In case if you have a shisham carved table, probably you can use that the top of the table as a bar cabinet door instead of a coffee table. You can use it as a feature, as a decorative feature on your wall. You can use the carved legs with a glass tabletop. So once you introduce glass, it becomes modern. Exactly. And when you introduce this carved legs, it gives a chic look to it without being very dry and without being very minimalist. So these are some of the ways. Another way could be, a few years back there was a trend of having wall-to-wall carpeting. Now probably you want to do away with that look, and so why throw that carpet? You can actually create area rugs from that carpet. So these are some of the ways reusing your things that you already have in a very new way. Area rugs are very much in these things. They are the trend of modern interiors. So that is how you are cutting your cost. You are not doing any structural changes in your home. You are not buying any new furniture. You are just remodeling it. Interior designer would also suggest you, if you are remodeling your furniture, how much. If it's going to be very expensive, they will suggest you don't go for remodeling. Probably just reupholster it. If you have a modern furniture and you want a classic look for your home, just by changing the upholstery into more paisleys and would give you the necessary look. Or if you have a very classic kind of furniture and furnishings, just by changing the upholstery of your furniture into more modern geometric patterns, will bring in the required look. So these are some of the ways how you mix and match and probably give a whole new look to your place without actually spending a lot of money.
Okay, so this was about the money factor. Now talking about time, we are city people, we don't have much time. Now in this case, when I'm planning to interior redesign my home, how much time would it generally take?
It depends upon the services that you are looking at or the whole scope of work. If it is just consultation, probably you just want to do the whole thing yourself and you just need consultation from the designer. Obviously that will take just few hours. If it is a room that you are redesigning probably for an event, that would take not more than a day. If you are looking at redesigning your entire home but without the wall colors and the flooring, probably 3 to 5 days. If it is the whole gamut of services like wall painting, your floors, even shopping for new things, and then the redesigning, that would be about 10 to 15 days.
Okay. So I think it doesn't take much time also. So it's very timing accordingly. It's also very nice. Okay. Now next question that arises here is talking about space management and utilization. How effective does interior redesign become?
Space utilization is one of the most important reason why people want to redesign their home, or probably just introducing a chair rail or a dado rail, which is a molding at the level of the chair back, and then coloring the lower part in a different color will break the high walls. If you want to give a bigger look to your home, the inverse of it, probably you can have curtains from ceiling to ground, which will give a look of a high ceiling. You can add mirrors to give a visual sense of space. You can increase the height or decrease the height of your windows just by probably adding cornices and valances in your window. You increase the height. By changing the window treatment, you maybe have cafe style curtains on your windows, and it will reduce the height of your windows. Similarly, if you have an arched window which is out of proportion, which looks like it's not fitting into the proportion of your design, you can break it by adding curtain rod below the arch. So these are some of the ways how you can change the look and the dimension of the room. You can create more space. Again, by fully utilizing your floors, by fully utilizing your walls, you can take things on your walls. Like your accessories and displays, they don't necessarily have to be on your side tables and end tables. You can create interesting shelving on your walls and display these accessories there. You do not need to necessarily have a bar cabinet which is standing on your floor. Free up your floor space by taking the bar cabinet as a built-in cabinet on your walls, which opens up into a bar counter. So these are some of the ways. If rather than having just one big seating, if you can break it into 2 or 3 seatings, automatically it looks like it's a bigger area. Adding area rugs in the seating, it gives a different dimension to the floor. So these are some of the ways you can maximize the use of the space, and just by rearranging it, visually make it appear larger than what it is.
Correct. Okay. Now, if I plan to interior redesign my home, so should I move out of my home? Because generally, in case of renovation, you see this, people have to move out of their places, and it's like it generally takes up to 45 days to almost 3 months, and that's very painful. Now in case of interior redesigning, wherein my look of the home will will become classy, will look beautiful, but then I don't want to take the pain of moving out.
See, one of the reasons why what people are going for interior redesign is because they don't want to spend that kind of time. And as I said, the maximum interior redesign time will be 1 to 2 weeks. You don't need to move out of your home or office simply because there is no civil work involved. You are not breaking walls, you are not constructing walls, you are not making any structural alterations. Secondly, even in terms of paintings and polishing, nowadays we have non-toxic products available, so there are no fumes or there are no such hazardous things happening in your home that you cannot breathe and you want to get away. In fact, you can become part of the entire interior redesign process. You can dig out old photographs, artworks, you can probably reframe them, which become new accessories in your home. So you can in fact participate in the whole process of interior redesign.
Okay, that's really cool. I mean, who would like to spend so much time, and especially it's very painful that you move out of your homes and if you don't get the desired result, you feel bad about it. And I don't think so. Interior redesigning, when it comes to interior redesigning, anyone witnesses that kind of disappointment. Time for a really short break. You don't go away.
Well, viewers, I would like to say if you are putting off the plans for designing your space just because of time and budget constraints,
welcome back after the break. We were talking about how to make your homes beautiful within a small budget. Now let's take this conversation further with our guest Sapna Srivastava. Since we are talking about designing, so now my question here is, do interior designers, the regular ones, can they practice interior redesigning?
Pooja, interior redesign as a segment is not fairly unknown here in India. So we do not have interior redesigners as such, but yes, we can hire interior designers, and they can, because they are trained to design things, they can very well do the job. The only challenge remains is because the regular designers, they are more trained to work on a bare framework. They start from scratch with the design concept, and then according to that design concept, they work on the design. So that becomes a challenge because that is how they have been practicing. Once you get that approach towards redesigning, that approach towards utilizing the things that are already there, once that approach has been established, I think then the designer can very well do the redesigning job as well.
Now, how popular is this concept in India?
This is fairly unknown. It's not does not exist in India.
That's quite revealing, I must say.
Yeah, it's relatively non-existent in India. Whenever we think about designs, our homes or offices or any space, the thing that comes to our mind is interior design. And in fact, whenever homeowners, they want to use their own things and design, the idea that they have is that they cannot approach a designer for that. The designer will never do that for us. If we want to make best use of what we have to do it on our own. So that is the mentality of the people, that we cannot approach a designer. We cannot hire a designer to do such a thing for us. And generally that is what happens. The homeowners would try to do the best they can do, and more often than not, because they are laymen, and they go wrong. Even I would say designers have not explored this segment. They have been practicing interior designing, and they have not explored the segment of just redesigning the space which is already there. So I think initiative from designers as well would help a lot of people who want budget-friendly designing. That would really help. Talking internationally, there are a lot of interior redesigners who basically are qualified designers. Some who are not qualified, but through their experience have created a niche for themselves in interior redesigning. Their services would range from giving color consultation for various spaces like hospitals. They would give what kind of color schemes you should have in school what kind of color scheme you should have, or probably in commercial setup in a shopping boutique. So they give color consultation. They could also help with new home movements, wherein if you are moving from one place to another, the interior redesigner will help set up your home with all the things that you are moving in with. So when you move in, you have a fully functional and livable space. Probably you're downsizing from a bigger home, now you are coming to an apartment in a city center. So how do you fit in all the things that you have? What do you keep? What you do not keep? What kind of a look you give? So that is what interior redesigners would help you with. They also give personal shopping services, where they would help you shop for new things like lighting systems, accessories, etc. And these designers, they charge anything from $75 an hour and upwards.
Okay, hearing from you, I could make out, that internationally this concept has been very popular. And in India as such, I don't think so we have any interior designers. And I think, to get the system, this practice involved in our system, we should introduce it in our, educational syllabus. So what is your recommendation on that?
See, Pooja, when we are talking about interior redesign, it's actually about being environment friendly. It is about 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle. So actually we are practicing that when we are redesigning it. We do not need to have a separate subject or a separate course for interior redesigning. But yes, an approach for redesigning can be introduced within the curriculums that we have. In the sense, there could be a design project where the students are given a challenge of redoing a certain setup, a quick setup in a new way, and see how they come up with creative ideas. Probably workshops on how you can remodel an existing piece of thing, or create something out of waste material. So when we are talking about sustainability, being environment sensitive, if we start training our designers, their mental development that way, that instead of just trying to create new things, create ideas, why not create new things out of things which are already there? So yes, it can be an approach that we inculcated in the students. We definitely don't need an entire course around it.
Okay.
Because actually it is all about designing.
Okay. So any subject kind of like, when we talk about interior designing, we could have a subject or maybe a chapter on that.
We can have projects, design projects, wherein you have a given setup where probably a home or a commercial setup has been done in a certain way, and now keeping all those parameters and constraints, you have to give it a new look. So that can be one kind of a design project that they can have. As I said, hands-on workshops you can have, where you are given a waste material and now you create something out of that which is functional and useful. Or probably you are given a furniture piece, and now you have to, it's a classic couch chair, and you have to make a modern minimalist kind of seating out of it. How do you do it? So these kind of probably exercises would be really helpful.
Okay, Sapna. During this conversation, I think the people out there must be aware about interior redesign by the end of the conversation, since we are at the end of the conversation. Now someone out there, they must be planning to have their homes redesigned. So any message that you would like to give such viewers who would like to redesign their homes?
Well, viewers, I would like to say, if you are putting off the plans for designing your space just because of time and budget constraints, please don't. Please go ahead and probably redesign your place. It's all about borrowing from the past and moving into the future. Go through your family heirloom and lost memories and the lost possessions that you might have tucked in your attic. Just dig them out and hire a designer. Talk to the designer. Tell what you want, what kind of look you're looking at, and definitely go for it, because interior redesign is the way to go, because we are becoming a lot of consumerist society, and we are consuming a lot. So interior redesign is all about consuming less, have a lesser carbon footprint. So it's not only about monetary benefit, but it's also about saving your environment.
Okay. Sapna, that was a very beautiful, I think it's a very beautiful tip and a very beautiful piece of information. And I think it's very budget friendly, environment friendly, whatever
Time friendly.
Time friendly, yes, of course. And I think it's that thing which, which the viewers had to know. And we really thank you from our heart, to inform me as well as the viewers about this. And thank you for coming on our show.
Thank you, Pooja, for having me here.
So this was Sapna who gave us information on interior redesign. Now this concept is budget friendly, time friendly and environment friendly. So if you want to make your home look beautiful, interior redesign is the thing for you. So just go and hire a designer and get your home redesigned. For more information on interior designing trends and architecture, keep watching Spin TV. Goodbye, take care.